TCU fans, you got to be sick right now. I mean, completely vomiting sick to your stomach right now after losing that game 27-24 to Arizona State. Somehow the Sun Devils do it again in the clutch. Jesus Gomez gets to be the hero despite missing a couple of field goals and looking pretty bad most of the night. And man, I don't know. I told you guys not to count out Arizona State. Okay. I told you not to count out Arizona State after the Mississippi State loss. They still have a really tough schedule that we're going to talk about coming up here. But that was the type of win that makes you feel like, this team's got it. Like the clutch gene, like team of destiny sort of thing. And I know that you can tell me, well, John, did you watch the Mississippi State game when they did the exact opposite and gave up a stupid long bomb at the end of the game? I did. Maybe this team needed that as a wake-up call. They've been able to make the plays in the clutch when they need them the most each of the last two games against Baylor and TCU. Very good teams. I don't know, man. This seems like a team that is figuring some things out. I got asked, I'll address this on the next live show, but I got asked the question on Venmo, like, John, what do you make of Arizona State's offense? Like, is this team actually good offensively? I know that Sam Leavitt is good. Like, I know Jordan Tyson is good, but as a unit, here's what they are. They're clutch. I mean, right now they're clutch. And even the Mississippi State game, it was the defense that coughed it up and gave it away. If you want to say, hey, they weren't clutch in the goal-to-go situation, all right, fair. But down 17-0, they found a way when their back was against the wall. This team just seems to perform, especially offensively, very well with its back against the wall. Like, let's look at Jordan Tyson in this game today, who's obviously a beast, right? I mean, Jordan Tyson is as good a receiver as you're going to find in the country. But the team, down 17-0, needs a spark, close to halftime, has gotten absolutely nothing going. It's been a rough start to the game. And he makes a move, nice little outside move, bombs it down the field, 57 yards for a touchdown. And then, of course, 4th and goal, the 4th and 4 for the touchdown that tied it, which set up eventually getting the strip sack win. He makes a great move. They go to him again, like Marcus Arroyo's like, hey, I'm going to roll with my guy, right? He does, and his guy made a huge play to get open in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Previous play, Arizona State tried to go to him. TCU knew what was coming. They were right there, but you give Jordan Tyson 2 opportunities to make a move on somebody, to even down in a goal-to-go situation, right, in the red zone where it's a little bit tougher, windows are smaller, doesn't matter. Jordan Tyson still gives you a wide, you-know-what, open window there. So just crazy game, a crazy game to react to here. And TCU, man, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Arizona State first because – like, they win the game, give them full credit. The clutch plays are not just limited to the offense, right? It's also, I mean, Prince Dorbah getting the insane strip sack. I mean, you hardly ever see the strip sack where the guy literally just pulls the ball away. Now, some of that's on Josh Hoover, too. Like, bro, come on. Like, protect the football a little bit better. But TCU had this game in control at multiple points. I mean, it's 17-0. TCU's got Arizona State completely on the ropes. It's 17-0. And then late in the game, just this rash of wild/poor execution / Arizona State making plays, just an avalanche of it comes down on TCU when they're up 24-17 with the football. The offense stalls out. They give up 3 sacks on one drive, which that's another thing. This Arizona State defense we need to talk about. They are good. And the pass rush just completely whitewashed TCU when it mattered. But that offensive drive, when it's 24-17, TCU can go up by another score. They just couldn't protect Josh Hoover at all. Then there are some penalties, and I understand why Sonny Dykes was frustrated. I will say, I mean, the broadcast totally had it right. Extremely late pass interference call. It's crazy how late that came, and that is enough to drive you nuts, and I get it. But it was definitely the right call. Dude got totally mugged. That was pass interference. But then you tack on next to that, roughing the passer penalty. I mean, I guess I can listen to an argument, maybe a little bit weak, but it was so late. It's just going to get called. You have to deal with that. Then you get it down to 4th and 4, man. It's 4th and goal at the 4. They're going to their guy, and you allow yourself to get beat by Jordan Tyson. Then you've got the sack fumble with just some horrible ball security from Josh Hoover. There's even, this is where if I'm Sonny Dykes, I would be very upset. The horse collar penalty was very bad. That obviously cost you a first down. It cost you a timeout, which you kind of got back later because of that holding. That was such a weird sequence at the end of the game. But yardage, obviously, with a kicker who's really struggling. I mean, losing 15 yards there is a backbreaker. Like, you want to make Jesus Gomez go out there and have to kick. If it's something that's like 35, 40 yards and up, I mean, what's going to be going through that kid's mind after he just missed two before that? Instead, he got like an extra point to go ahead and put Arizona State up for good and win the game 27-24. So, I mean, that was the whole series of events that went from like TCU with a ton of game control up 24-17 with the ball midway through the fourth quarter to everything falls apart. And then Josh Hoover, a bad interception, and he got away with one or two before that in the fourth quarter that maybe should have been picked. One for sure that could have been a pick six. I don't know, man. Hoover, is just some dangerous throws there. Some dangerous throws from him. Throw on top of this, the Eric McAllister injury for TCU, right? Outside of this avalanche of things that happened, you're also operating in the second half without Eric McAllister, who it is so weird to me how this year it's been one obscenely great game from him where it could have been a 5-touchdown game, probably should have been at least 4 with one bad call and 250 plus yards on SMU. And then he can't do much outside of that the entire rest of the season. He's not able to play the second half. We got that sideline report late in the second half, but that obviously hurt the TCU offense, which was pretty stagnant today. You know, to be honest, they took advantage of some shorter fields earlier in the game, and they had less than 300 yards of total offense. They had 10 rushing yards. 10 rushing yards. Now, there's a lot of sack yardage included in that, but man, TCU just could not get any sort of a ground game going to help out Josh Hoover. It allowed the pass rush to really tee off. You get an interception, you get a strip sack. And when you talk about the clutch gene of this defense, right, and this team overall, I mean, in the fourth quarter, where was the stat about the fourth quarter that I had? In the fourth quarter for Arizona State's defense, they held TCU to 3 yards. TCU had 3 yards of offense in the fourth quarter. Arizona State had 4 sacks, including the strip sack, and then the interception to seal the game. Like, that's clutch. That's a defense that makes plays when it matters. And if we're talking about like what this Arizona State team is as a whole, I said don't count them out. And a part of the reason that I said don't count them out was they're a team that needs to let this offense kind of brew and get better. And now they have a bye week before they go to Utah. That'll be a hell of a test to go up against the Utah defense. But it seems like the offense is starting to gradually come along. Raleek Brown, 184 total yards on 30 touches. Arizona State desperately needs that. Another playmaker besides Jordan Tyson. If they can ever get Mateer going consistently at tight end, that'll be a big help too. They need other receivers to step up. That has definitely been a problem. But and I think to answer the gentleman's question that hit me up on Venmo asking about Arizona State's offense, I think that's a part of it. They have some real elite level playmakers in Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson, but if you've only got those guys consistent as the ones who can consistently make plays, it's going to lead to an overall inconsistent offense because there's just not quite enough around them to be able to produce consistently. But they are so good and so clutch that right now it's producing enough to win these games when they absolutely have to have it. But this was kind of if you listen to people that were close to Arizona State football in the offseason, they said the defense is really good and it should be ahead of the offense, which might surprise some people because the names that people know are on the offensive side of the ball. But you may have to wait for that to come along. And that is what has happened here. So now, I mean, like I said, Arizona State, it's crazy. At the beginning of the year, we were talking about TCU having this really difficult schedule, right? And now TCU actually looks like they've got a pretty manageable schedule the way some things have broken. And Arizona State is the team that's got a difficult road coming up here, some difficult games after the bye, starting with at Utah. But Arizona State's still grinding away. They've got championship pedigree from last year. Sam Leavitt is a guy that just plays his butt off more than about anybody in the country, always giving insane effort. Jordan Tyson is an animal. Like they've got something there. It feels like Arizona State's got something brewing right now. I mean, we'll see. I guess you could also tell me they're playing with fire. And, it's like every single game that they're playing right now is turning into a one-score game in the fourth quarter where someone's making a huge play to win or lose the game. But man, and then TCU, I hate to keep, I'm not trying to like rub it in, TCU fans, but man, I mean, missed opportunity. The schedule coming up: Colorado, K-State, West Virginia. Those are 3 of the next 4. There's a Baylor game in between there too, which, obviously I think will be tough, but could have been 8-1, 9-0. I mean, golden opportunity for TCU. And just let this one go. Had it in control twice, didn't squeeze it, and then quite literally didn't squeeze it with Josh Hoover. Because even then, even at that point, well, Josh Hoover's intercept, I'm trying to determine in my mind, like interception or strip sack, like which one's worse. Both were bad. Even down 3, though, it's like at the end of the game, you're like, all right, like Josh Hoover's our guy. This has been the guy throwing up Heisman numbers, averaging over 330 yards passing a game. He's going to, this is the moment. This is the time, right, for him to drive down. And then, nope, you get 2 plays into the drive, bad interception. So I don't know. I feel for you, Frogs. Arizona State, congratulations. If only you just don't play whatever the coverage was, whatever the call was there by Arizona State defensively against Mississippi State, man. If you don't go Baylor victory cigar against Mississippi State, this team would be flirting with the top 10 right now, just like Texas Tech, and the Big 12 could really have something cooking. But as it stands, still a good opportunity here for Arizona State to be one of those teams in Arlington. If they can develop some more consistency, if Raleek Brown's going to help out, they can somehow, some way get another receiver to consistently be a factor along with Jordan Tyson, things are going to be a lot better. So anyway, with that, thank you guys for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Open for Business Big 12 newsletter, and I will talk to you all soon.